Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be tackling the question of, can civilians in Halo 3 drive Covenant vehicles? So, in a previous video a while back, I showed you guys that civilians in Halo 3, or rather the dock workers, they can actually hold a variety of weapons, including Covenant weapons, as well as other heavy UNSC weapons that you wouldn't expect them to be able to hold. And with a glitch, you could actually get civilians to hold weapons that they're, gameplay-wise, they're actually not supposed to be capable of holding, like the Gravity Hammer. But for today's video, we'll be tackling vehicles, especially Covenant vehicles, to see which Covenant vehicles, if any, civilians in Halo 3 can drive. So the easiest way to do that was to place a civilian, and I did it in Forge because that's where I can get all the vehicles together in a nice, easy spot. Also, if you're wondering why the civilian is pink now, it's because apparently if you move a civilian to multiplayer, their clothing actually changes based on the team color you're on. So like here I'm on pink team, so the civilian's wearing a pink uniform. Anyways, starting off with the Ghost, as you can already see, the civilian can indeed drive the Ghost just fine. He can use all the functions of the Ghost, boost, weapons, all that. So Ghost checks out. Next vehicle is the Chopper. So the civilian can indeed drive the Chopper just fine, although it does not look like it's very comfortable for a civilian to drive the Chopper. Like there, you can see his back's not even touching the seat cushion. He's like I don't know, like that kind of pose. You're like holding on to the entire Chopper for support. In that case, you're not really sitting. The Chopper's kind of like dragging you essentially in air. But yeah, the civilian can still drive it just fine. Next is the Banshee. Banshee also works just fine. I mean, lore-wise, none of this actually makes any sense at all. Civilians in the Halo universe, they really should have no idea how to drive Covenant vehicles. I remember like it was mentioned somewhere in lore, or like maybe in Halo 2, that Marines had to like go through simulations to learn how to drive Covenant vehicles. And, most civilians probably would not have gone through such, simulations. But anyways, Banshee checks out, all functions work fine. The next vehicle is the Prowler, and it seems the civilian cannot drive the Prowler. He can't even get into passenger seats or use the Prowler's turret. All of it is invalid for civilians. Now, moving along after the Prowler, we are going to do the Wraith. But before we get to that, I do want to quickly mention why this actually works for the civilians. So, if you see my previous videos, in order for like any character to pick up a weapon, use a weapon, or drive a vehicle, they need to have the animations to support it. If they don't have the animation, then they can't pick it up. No, not unless with like certain glitches, like making the civilians hold invalid weapons. But civilians in Halo 3, they actually share the exact same animations as Marines in Halo 3. So anything a Marine can use or drive, so can civilians. Which is why this works. So this also means that things that a civilian can't use or drive, Marines can't either. So like the Prowler there that the civilian can't use, that would mean that Marines also can't use Prowlers in Halo 3. Which is strange, because they can use every other Covenant vehicle, including Banshees, which some of them make a lot less sense than others. The Ghost is fine, they've been using it since Halo 2, but things like the Chopper or the Banshee doesn't quite make sense for Marines or civilians to be able to use, but it works. Now then, the last two things we'll be checking out is the Shade Turret and the Plasma Cannons. Starting with the Shade Turret, as you can see, the civilian cannot use Shade Turrets, interestingly enough. However, with Plasma Cannons or Plasma Turrets, they can indeed use Plasma Cannons. I don't know why they can't use Shade Turrets. Physically, they should be able to, especially if they can use all the other vehicles. But Plasma Cannons are fine. Well, somewhat fine. Their animations are really janky for using Plasma Cannons. You can see like one arm doesn't even hold the Plasma Turret correctly, and yeah, it just looks really weird for the civilian to be firing the Plasma Cannon like this. Also, trying to rip it off doesn't work either. They can't hold two-handed weapons. But yeah, so that's all the Covenant vehicles that we can test, that you can usually normally use in gameplay. Just as a bonus, because I'm sure the question will come up, we're going to test the elephant real quick in multiplayer. So, the elephant turret, even though it's like pretty much the same as a warthog chain gun turret, the civilians can't use that, nor can they drive the elephant either. So, there you go. Neither of those can be used. Which also means that Marines can't use elephant turrets or drive elephants either, because like I said, they share the same animation, so what affects one affects the other. But yeah, so there you guys have it. Hopefully that answers that question, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and found it to be interesting. If you did, as always, make sure to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments, any other questions or experiments you want me to try out. Just let me know down in the comments below, and I'll definitely do my best to look into it when I get a chance. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.